Hello and welcome back to the East Lake Pet Talk podcast. I'm veterinarian Dr. Karen Fling, and we're joined today with a special guest. Welcome today.
Hi, how are you? I'm Rebecca Poling. I'm the social media coordinator for Dallas Animal Services.
Well, we are so glad to have you here today, and there's been a lot going on this week with the podcast. We've had a lot of viewer and listener feedback, and we actually heard from the loyal human servant of Matilda the alien cat. So make sure to log on to our website and follow that conversation and join in. And we do always welcome feedback from our audience, and you can reach us by calling 972-808-6038. And of course, subscribe to us on YouTube. And we'd love to have at least 14 more subscriptions. We are so close to being available on iHeartRadio, and that's all we need. So your subscription could make the difference. But we're here available on iTunes. We're also available on Stitcher. So there's lots of great ways that people can connect with us. And we actually even had some feedback this week from a listener in Wisconsin that had some questions about a prior episode that we talked about relative to heart disease in cats. And the question related to a newer test that's become available. The test is available through IDEXX Laboratories, and it's called the Pro-BNP test. And that's something you can ask your pet's veterinarian about, or you can look online to find more information. But the thing we like about this test as veterinarians is that it allows us to measure a substance in the blood that gives us an idea of the stretch on heart muscle. And where this is important is that if we have a cat with a known murmur or a leaky valve sound that we hear with a stethoscope, this simple blood test can help us to know if we need to be more worried, if we need to do other diagnostics. Also, this test can be very beneficial for certain cat breeds that are prone to heart disease. And it's been said that any orange cat is more predisposed to having heart disease. Also, American short hairs, American long hairs, Bengals, Maine Coons, Norwegian forest cats, Persians, ragdolls, and Sphinx are reported as having a higher incidence of cardiac disease. So definitely ask your veterinarian about this particular test if you have concerns. And if you just have one of those predisposed breeds, it's a great idea to have this testing done to find out if your cat may be predisposed. So good news for pets. And there's a lot of good news going on with Dallas Animal Services, and it relates to helping lost pets get home. And for anybody who's experienced the heartbreak of having a lost pet, or anybody who doesn't ever want to go through that, you definitely want to stay tuned today. So Rebecca, tell us what's going on with Dallas Animal Services and what's happening there.
Well, Dallas Animal Services has become the first shelter in North Texas to sign up as a partner with Finding Rover. Finding Rover is a free app that uses facial recognition technology for dogs to help reunite lost pets with their owners.
That's amazing. And statistics say that 10 million pets get lost every year, and 90% of those pets don't get home without proper identification. So normally we're talking about things like tags and collars and microchips, but this raises up the numbers to a whole new level in terms of helping pets to get home.
It does. It's said to be 98% effective.
That's amazing.
The matching technology is just cutting edge.
That is great. And I understand that we have John with Finding Rover that's going to be joining in with us. John, are you able to hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Well, that's great. Well, thanks so much for joining us. This is really exciting news. Tell us about what led you to go down this pathway. Tell us about how all of this got started.
It's really a crazy story. About 3.5 years ago, I retired from my company, and I was sitting in a coffee shop with my wife. And we live in Northern California. We were actually thinking of starting a small little winery. And I saw a lost dog poster, and it brought back all these terrible memories of this dog we'd lost, Harley. Kids in the back seat, crying, driving all over town, putting up posters. And this crazy thought came in my head, and I said to my wife, if they can identify people using facial recognition, wouldn't it be cool if you could take a picture and identify a dog? And that's how it started. She basically said, forget the winery. This is what you need to do with the rest of your life. But here I am 3.5 years later.
That's great. And you were not really a computer person when all of this started up. You know, you had a basic computer knowledge, but you've recruited some experts in the field and some people that have really pulled all of this together. Is that right?
Right. I knew just enough to get myself in trouble with computers, but I consider myself a pretty good manager. And so I started surrounding myself with some really smart people, starting with the University of Utah. It all started with them and these amazing scientists. We commissioned a study and with the University of Utah, and we had 2 PhDs working on the algorithms for over a year to be able to identify a dog or a cat with tremendous accuracy. And after a year, they did it. And so we took the next year to develop the app, and then we launched, and it's just been amazing.
Well, that's great. Well, tell us from the start forward, how does this actually work, and how does the process go relative to the image, to getting the pet identified and getting that pet home that's lost?
Great question. So basically, it starts, with downloading the app. So you have an iPhone or an Android type device. You can download the app. If you don't have a smartphone, you can just go to findingrover.com and upload a picture of your pet. What you want to do is you want to upload a photo before it's ever lost. I mean, you can do it after it's lost, but now you're going to have to find a photo. So the idea is it's almost, you could say it's like an insurance policy. It's all free. There's no charge to Finding Rover. So you download the app, and all you need to do is type Lost Dog. I think we're the first app that comes up in iPhone and Android. So you take a picture of your dog and you register it. We really don't ask any information about the owner. It's really about your dog. And that's all there is to it. If your dog's ever lost, you just go to your app and hit Lost. It asks you where you lost it. You put the location, and then it will search every animal that's been found in an area that matches your dog by its face. Now, what we've done is we've also started about 8 months ago partnering with shelters. So not only can you match against an individual who's found your pet, but now on an hourly basis, we get feeds such as Dallas. We get feeds of all their animals every hour. So instead of having to drive to the shelter and walk every kennel every day, it's an automatic facial recognition match against all the animals in the shelter.
Well, that is so exciting.
It's been amazing.
And I like your advice about doing this now before you lose your pet. Day in and day out, I'm amazed at how often we come across people that lose pets and we say, gosh, let's see a picture, and they don't have one. And so is there a special way that you should take the picture? Or does any picture work?
No, actually, we want the animal facing forward, because to get a facial recognition, it really needs to be facing forward. So when you take the picture and it's facing forward, the app will ask you to do 3 little things. It'll ask you to slide a little circle over each eye and a triangle over each nose. And what that does is it identifies, where the animal is in a 360-degree circle habit. And that's all there is to it. But not only, I tell everybody, you don't need to own one to save one. You don't have to own an animal to save one. Anybody, again, it's all free. You don't have to own an animal to download the app. You see a dog, walking in the park, you hit the bark button, the app starts chirping like a little puppy. The dog will look at you right away and you take a picture. That's all you need to do.
Well, it just sounds too good to be true, John, and this really is amazing technology. And how should people learn more about Finding Rover?
So you can just go to findingrover.com. You can see us at findingrover.com. Just go look at go to the App Store, go to the Android Google Play Store. In Dallas, the Petco Foundation has been amazing. They partnered with us and offered a $20,000 grant based on people registering with Finding Rover. So it's heartwarming to see everybody coming together with this new technology. Then we're, as I said, we're not asking anything in return. We're not, we don't ask for your home address. We don't ask for any money. It's basically all of us giving back unconditional love to our pets like they give us.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more.
A picture.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. And it really does take a village to do the work that we all do. And John, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. And I hear you're on your way across the country to go work with other shelters and help even more pets. Is that right?
We are. We're on our way to Ohio and Minnesota and Nevada. Then after that, we're in Florida and we're in Arizona. Yeah, we have 91 shelters signed up already. We have over 154 that are coming on board, and that's the beauty. Once we have all these animals on board, any one of us, and I'm a big proponent of chips. I'm a proponent for anything we can do to save our animals, because all it is communication. But
Right.
think about it now. Any one of us with a cell phone in the greater Dallas area can identify a pet by just taking a picture.
Oh, that's fantastic
the thing.
news. That's great.
So please
and
download
all of
the
these
app.
all of these things together do make a difference in helping pets to get home. John, thank you so much for joining us today. Rebecca, thank you for bringing this wonderful technology home to us here in Dallas. But again, wherever you are in the country, anybody can be a part of this process, and it's findingrover.com to get more information. John, Rebecca, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank
you very much.
And again, that's great news for pet owners and for pets all around. And Dallas Animal Services will be the lucky beneficiary of $20,000 if they can just have 20,000 people log on to findingrover.com and register. So let's not let this opportunity pass for Dallas Pets. Again, the deadline for the registration is July 4th, findingrover.com. And wherever you are in the world, definitely sign up for this great way to get pets home. And certainly remember your collar and tags and proper identification, because 90% of pets don't get home without these proper identifications and extra tools. And again, a 98% success rate with findingrover.com. So we're about out of time for this week's episode, but I do want to invite you to come back next week, same time, same place. We're going to be meeting with Peggy Compton and learning a thing or two about GPS to help pets get home. And we'll also actually be meeting with a real pet detective. So same time, same place. Thanks so much.